Welcome to St. Mary's Cathedral, Sydney.
A neo-Gothic structure, this sandstone edifice stands tall above Sydney's Hyde Park. Commenced in 1866, construction was not finished until the year 2000. But more than arches, spires, and historical treasures, St. Mary's is an artefact of living history. It is a testament of Catholicism in Australia.
In this series, we will explore the artefacts of St. Mary's Cathedral, bringing to light the stories of the people and events which have shaped Sydney's Catholic community. Generations of people have found in St. Mary's Cathedral a place to call home, and in turn their family history has become intertwined with the cathedrals. Many of these stories begin with the sacrament of baptism, and so it makes sense for us to start our journey with you in the cathedral's baptistery.
As we enter the cathedral from the southern doors, on the right-hand side of the nave, we find the marvellous baptismal font, where baptisms take place.
The font is breathtaking because of its sheer size. The body of the font has been carved from Royal Sienna marble, but what catches the eye is the enormous sterling silver cover which slides over the basin of the font. In fact, this cover is the largest piece of silver in the Southern Hemisphere.
In the Christian faith, baptism is a sacrament of initiation, through which people join the church, often as infants. The waters of baptism, which can be blessed in this font, are a sign of the sacrament washing away the stain of original sin, which then allows the new member of the church to enter into life with Christ.
This is such a valuable part of the Catholic faith. Let's consider now how this has impacted the community.
Baptism was not only a really important milestone for marking one's formal connection to the Christian community, it was one of the only forms of official documentation in the colony.
Records show that thousands of people were baptized here at St. Mary's over the years, coming to this significant place to enter into the life of Christ and to engage with the community.
People engaged in many ways with the early cathedral, through individual gifts, or money, or through their labor or their special talents.
In fact, there is evidence of individual and group contributions all over the church. Let's look at this plaque just behind the font there.
This particular plaque is dedicated to Albert George Clark, an Irish priest who died in Sydney on October 3, 1931. It is just one of many that record donations to the cathedral from a variety of people. As you walk around the building, you will notice that there are many plaques and inscriptions dedicated to various husbands, wives, and much-loved family members. All of these commemorate members of the St. Mary's community, whose lives were intimately linked to the cathedral.
Many of the stained glass windows were paid for and donated by individuals or small groups, often in honour of a loved one. Here is another dedicated by Major General Sussex C. Milford and his siblings to their mother Eliza, who worshipped at the cathedral for an incredible 30 years.
Here at the north end of the cathedral, we can see the Donovan family windows identified by the plaques underneath.
These windows are beautiful, but there is more to the Donovans' legacy than just these.
The family was heavily involved in the building project of the cathedral. Dr. John Donovan was actually on the committee responsible for decisions regarding the stained glass windows, and his father, Jeremiah Donovan, donated enthusiastically to the building works. One source referred to him as one of Sydney's most generous Catholic laymen.
If Donovan was a wealthy man, why did Cardinal Moran famously describe the cathedral as a gift of the poor?
Good question. It is such a beautiful description, and factually it is true. In its early days, a good half of the Catholic population was made up of convicts and ticket of leave men and their families, who had very little that they could contribute financially. Yet, they found ways to assist, often through manual labor or volunteering.
Many women played key roles in fundraising, running stands at fairs, and participating in various events, which significantly helped alleviate the church's financial struggles. One of the most significant was Catherine Fitzpatrick. She dedicated much of her time to what would become the rich musical legacy of the cathedral that continues today, and she built it from almost nothing.
Let's imagine you're a Catholic living in Sydney between 1788 and 1820. There is no church or chaplain, but only fellow friends, convicts in fact, who have been sent to Australia from the British Isles, often unjustly sentenced over petty crimes. You arrive in Sydney to a church without a clergy and no dedicated building for worship. This was the reality for many Sydney Catholics at the time.
This is where Catherine Fitzpatrick comes in. Catherine was a laywoman with outstanding faith and commitment to the church. Her husband was detained and condemned to New South Wales as a convict. She made the difficult decision to go with him, leaving her home in Ireland for this strange new land. In Sydney, she voluntarily gave her time to teach the gospel, not just to her own children, but those from the local area.
Perhaps her most outstanding achievement was that she established a choir to sing at Vespers and at private masses, which were sporadically available in the colony. But all of this was before the first cathedral was even built. So, with Catherine's choir, we could technically say that St. Mary's Cathedral Choir came before St. Mary's Cathedral.
After a history spanning more than 200 years, the St. Mary's Cathedral Choir is recognised as one of the finest in the world. During the COVID-19 lockdowns, when many people all over the world couldn't get to a church, they found solace in the streamed services from St. Mary's Cathedral, and particularly loved hearing the choir.
Fitzpatrick established one of the things that is so loved at St. Mary's today, the sound. You can see here one of the 5 organs present in the cathedral, the Western transept organ, built by Les Tourneaux in Canada. There is also a large organ in the southern gallery, built by Whitehouse, a Rogers digital organ in the sanctuary, and a little organ built by Ronald Sharp in the triforium over the choir. Sharp also built the grand organ in the Sydney Opera House.
And over in the Chapel of the Irish Saints, you'll find a smart little wooden instrument, which is played daily at Vespers. It's a very hard-working organ built by the Klopp Company in the Netherlands and donated by the Friends of the Cathedral in 2016.
So, from donations for organs and windows, to volunteering time in labour or at spare stalls, to the gift of music, the community of St. Mary's gave heartily to the cathedral they love, building a beautiful sacred space for the worship of God.
St. Mary's is open for everyone to enjoy and explore. Come and experience the magnificent stained glass windows, hear the incredible choir, and read about the families who have dedicated their lives to the community of Sydney, compelled by the love they first received from Christ.